A new study shows that 74% of Americans are optimistic about their financial future, even in these uncertain times. It also highlights the connection between sound professional financial advice and confidence and how that can lead to a financially fulfilled life. And here to tell us more is Jesse Abercrombie, a financial advisor with Edward Jones. All right, Jesse, so how are Americans really feeling about their finances in today's uncertain environment?
Despite the recent volatility and some uncertainty, our research has found that a significant three-quarters of Americans, 74%, are optimistic about their financial futures. Now, this study was conducted earlier this year in April. The stock market was not doing so great, but despite the fact that we've seen market volatility and some uncertainty, those 79% indicated that they're either on track to achieve or they've already achieved a financially fulfilled life. To me, I think this reflects the power of deep personal relationships and trusted financial advice.
So what does it mean to live a financially fulfilled life, and what are people willing to do to achieve that?
Americans define financial fulfillment in several ways, but the way that we really see it through the survey is having that freedom to pursue passions, right? So think about it. If you aren't stressed out about finances, you're very likely to go out and pursue hobbies, have fun. Sometimes those hobbies turn into actual work that you generate income from. And some of the most successful people in the country that created amazing brands, they did it all from passion. And it starts with having that financial fulfillment to go out and pursue those passions. Another thing is making a better life for themselves and for their families. A lot of my clients that I meet with, what they tell me, they say, Jesse, I want to make sure that my life for my family is either very similar to the way I grew up or better than the way I grew up. When people tell me that, that's financial fulfillment, but it is also literally financial empowerment. And last but not least is really having security and protection from those unforeseen events. The first two things I talked about are very important, but unless there's a plan in place where you're 3 to 6 months worth of expenses are covered because you have a money market or cash or CD somewhere saved up for those unforeseen events. And then also making sure that you have things in place like life insurance, disability, and long-term care, just those things that help you prepare for the unexpected. Once they do that, I think they're a lot more, they're much more better off, and they much more feel like they have a financially fulfilled life.
And Jesse, what steps can people take to help build more confidence in their financial futures?
I think it starts with having a solid financial plan that helps build that confidence. And so that plan should include actions that work toward their short-term goals and their long-term goals. And my office, we call it the needs, wants, and wishes. What is it that's most important to them? What are some things that they want to do? And what are some things that they dream about? And I think if they first start there in their financial plan, and then in the meantime work on some of those other things that are so important, like watching those spending habits, not going and having too many lattes or going out as much, as well as paying down debt or completely paying off debt, because we're hearing more and more that a paid off debt and no mortgage is a really good sign of financial success. And last but not least is improving financial literacy. The more you read, the more you know. And that's empowering to those people that actually make the steps to increase their financial acumen so that their spending habits and making sure that no debt really accumulates for a long-term financial successful future.
So what are the benefits of working with a financial advisor to achieve financial fulfillment?
Yeah, so financial advisors really, they act as an accountability partner for the clients. They also provide this holistic approach to the finances and create those tailored strategies that I talked about earlier. Remember, I talked about needs, wants, and wishes. Like one client may have many wishes, many dreams, and another client may not have many wishes at all, or maybe they've already fulfilled those wishes. So our goal is to make sure that we're working with them every step of the way to help them get through those strategies, as well as increasing the financial literacy for them to make them build that optimism and have a financially fulfilled life that really is achievable to them.
A lot of great information here, Jesse. Where can we go to learn more?
Yeah, there's much more information on this research. It can be found on edwardjones.com/pulse.
All right, Jesse Abercrombie with Edward Jones. Thanks again for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.